I went to school. I went to Berklee College of Music later on, and technically that's a jazz program. And I think I had the idea that I might at some point play upright. Um, but at that school, they very quickly say if you're carrying an electric bass, they're like, oh, he's a rock player. And if you're carrying an upright, like, oh, he's a jazz player. So you're not even really given the choice, you know? Even though I was studying jazz and, learning all this super complicated stuff and music theory and everything like that, even they said I was a rock player. So I was like, I had like no chance at all.
That's funny. How just out of curiosity, like music from my musical perspective, what is school like for you? Like what does a day to day, I guess, day look like for you as a musician? And would you say, as somebody, for example, aspiring to be a musician, is school the way to go? Is there pros and cons, kind of like in every other profession, or is it like you must go to school because that will give you the base to do everything else? Get it, the base.
Mm.
Wow, that's great. That's
Yeah,
fun.
I think it depends if you like. I mean, I really liked it. It was a great school. The environment is like, I mean, it's it's a college of music, but it retains because it's just a bunch of musicians. It kind of feels like high school in a way, just a little older. It's very casual in that way. Um, but I really loved it. Like you're taught by working professionals. Um, your morning would be you go to like music theory class, and then you maybe have a music history class, then you have like ear training, and you have lunch, and you have your private lesson, which is your one-on-one with whatever instrument you're taking, and then you do have to take English. That's the only downside. You have to take an English class. um, but everything else is all music related classes, so it's fun. I was super into it. My teachers were, like I said, they're working professionals. I remember one of my teachers for my theory class. He said, "We're not going to have an exam this semester because I have to go to Japan and work with Stevie Wonder. So sorry,
Wow.
guys." Yeah, yeah, I know, and that was very like that was normal. That was really common to hear that kind of thing. And then they would have like really high profile musicians come and give concerts, and it was just a really good environment for me. I gravitated to it anyway.
So
Um, I don't know if
with
it's
the
necessary.
oh, sorry.
I was
I was
good.
just gonna
Yeah,
say, with the music school, I know, like, I mean, some people go for and they become like composers, for example.
yeah.
What would the difference really be there? Because you mentioned that you get taught in your specific instrument, like you have classes in that. So what would that be
Yeah,
like if you're, I don't know, you're
if you're
learning
in
to
the
try and,
composition
yeah.
program, I don't know actually. That's a great question. I mean, I think they're probably studying, film music and film scoring. Maybe they're scoring to, pieces of film or something, or rescoring or that kind of thing. But I didn't hang out with any of the composers, so I have no idea. I just hung out with the musicians.
Do
Yeah,
you have
but
a
I imagine it's similar.
do you have do you have regrets not hanging out with the composers now that now that
I
that is a
really
part of your job?
I really should have. I should have hung out with them way more. I'm sure they were way smarter.
Actually, out of like when it comes to like music school, kind of you said it was similar to high school. So is it also the same idea where it's like you have the jocks, but it's like a specific instrument that you play, or like the cool people, the football people?
I love that idea. No, I just mean that there's more personality types, and people hang out with one another in the same way. And there's like, there's a bit of like a social scene going on as well, inside and outside of school. That's all I meant by that. But then I don't know, maybe it's exactly like university, and I just have nothing to compare it to.